aren't you the insolent one? I am the impartial one. Not taking part in your conflict allows me to watch it from outside and form an unbiased opinion. Your wrong treat crusaders with such disdain. Allow me to explain. Debate? Oh, I'll be happy to. Very well. The last war of Gisco was waged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Compared to Gisco, we are but stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of his statement, but here it is nevertheless. A gadfly sees the ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but crimson fever takes them both. Well, probably not that. I could just attack her. The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That is what you fail to grasp. The earnestness on the faces of those around you was taken away in Indara's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over words. Of course, I am not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I am trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, and particularly the history of warfare, she falls silent, fixedly staring the unfriendly eyes of her audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact and an evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith the way Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimmerang by adding a dozen Balors, for example, I could win this debate. But I am above such things. Therefore, I am forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. I am sure you would have been able to expound upon your arguments in a longer discussion. I am glad we both understand this limitation. It is always a pleasure to face a worthy opponent, even if the debate takes place in a grimy tavern. Perhaps especially because of that. Indara unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also for the wise. Claw of Gisca. This is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I got back to my research. Stay safe. A dimension door. Bye-bye. What did I get? The Claw of Gisca. Okay. A +1 short sword that also does 1d6 fire damage. Nice. I don't use short swords, but maybe I'll find somebody who does. Alright. We have a book. What's this book say? High lore and the spinner. Oh, this is about this guy right here. High lore. About this guy right here. Info. Wow. Okay, cool. Click on. Let's call this to a little bigger. Yeah. Okay. Erebeth. What is our main objective? You heard what the demons said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the Worldwood. That would be an even worse disaster than the Worldwood's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomede's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss. These Wardstones, what are they? I already know what they are. Ask a few personal questions, please. I don't know if there are some things I don't have right to discuss. Where are you from? I was born in Canabras. I grew up on a farm just outside of it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. I don't much like to remember it, believe it or not. The story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders, made their souls stand together in Iomede's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. My father was an orc. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he. But still, all his life, he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older, it was time for me to serve. I decided anywhere but Canabras. That was where my father had served loyalty, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, witch hunters, led by the honorable prelate Hulrud, stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they would have done to a strange girl with green skin. Instead, I went to... You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Last Wall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in a country that's been battling the orcs of Belkson since its foundation. There were many there like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the powers of a paladin, but even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking at doors before I realized the simple truth. I serve Iomedae, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them, so I left, as a paladin, but not a knight. I left last fall and went traveling. The goddess guided me. My path led me to where atrocities were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the river kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was just wasting time, that my true place was in Canabras. But I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back, but in the end, divine providence had brought me to my senses. It happened in Timon. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employers suspected was a cover for Resmir and spies. I wanted to find their lair, but inside I found something far more dangerous than spies, an unholy temple to Zon Kuthon. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone, the person who was destined to become my wife, Anevia. That's another story. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread through all of Avestan, including Mendev. Worse, the documents clearly showed their allies, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Canopus, and were even among the ranks of the Paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone. Anevia was eager to destroy the cultists, as I was. Anevia and I hurried to Canabras. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, she knew her way around, working locks, tailing people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeders. Soon we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its heads. Do you know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Prelate Holrun was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the queen. At first she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but soon she offered its command to me and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was made commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. I can't imagine the followers of Zon Kuthon in alliance with demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? They should, but Baphomet's minions are masters of deception. They manipulate Zon Kuthon's butchers as eagerly as Iomedae's knights. The cultists from that unholy temple didn't know the true face of their associates in Canabras. We ourselves learned the truth much later, after getting to the bottom of their nest. Okay, we'll maybe do more of that later. I have to go. Okay, so I think we have everything. I don't need to see completed ones. Okay. Divided City. Oh, that's for the Market Square. Find Jana Aldori. Fight and kill Kaylessa. Visit Chili Creek. Be prepared for an attack on the Defender's Heart. Find allies for the attack on the Great Garrison. Find the Storyteller. And visit the Tower of Estrad. Okay. I think we are ready to actually go do something now. Oh. Wait, one more thing. I forgot about the basement. I forgot about the basement. I always gotta go check the basement. Well, there's a prisoner in here. Delvin. They don't seem to be having a very good time with this prisoner.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif. Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Okay, but why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
What was going on with your shadow?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
Alright, well, I can't help you while you're chained up in here. How can
That's
I free you?
easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
Okay.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Yeah, okay. We'll be back. Alright, what else are we doing here before we go upstairs? Taking whatever's in here. And in here. Okay. And in here. Lots of stuff to sell to vendors. And in here. That goes outside. That's a lever. Alright. Another lever? Is that up or... I can't tell if that's up or down. The thing is in the way. Oh, that moved it up. Okay, so we have that one down. That one down. Alright, let's try and start with all of them down. Because I feel like that must be a puzzle. Where is the button? I don't care about either of those things. No, okay, whatever. All that stuff can stay there. The shield. Oh, there's a button hiding behind that shield. Who knew? The button won't budge. Interesting. Alright, so they're all... Is that one down? Oops. I thought that was down. Alright, let's try with them all up then. Now they're all up. Button still won't budge.
Keep your calm.
That was a different sound. Did that change something? Nope. Okay. Try this again. Nope. What in the world? Alright, that's up. Oh, did that do it? What did that do? So it was these two down and that one up. Okay. Oh, this opened a shrine to somebody. Somebody had a little hidden secret library here. I don't know who that is a shrine to though. Okay. Here. Half a century ago, our parents fled their homeland of Sarkoris, terrified of invading demons. somebody named the Shimmering Maiden. The Swargle family of the Devame clan. Huh. Okay. Don't know who that is. Potion of Lesser Restoration, some scrolls, and a headband of charisma. I think that's gonna go to you, right? Yeah. It's gonna let you do more paladin-y things. Okay. Talk to Erebeth. Tiefling chained on the defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Well, just a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them. The rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the defender's heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guards' hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a biddling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful should you decide to take him along. Okay. Back to the basement. Back to the basement. Go ahead and take him. Okay.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Erebeth. I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
No, but go
Now,
on.
she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
Okay.
I will guide.
Yeah, let's go see what's outside. Loot. This is Staunton's brother, Joran. Do you know everyone in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make my business know the people who may need my services. A blacksmith work is just the anvil. Are you Staunton Vane's brother? Yep, he goes where I go. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it, brings it back to me, and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course. How was he to blame for the fall of Dresden? Well, telling it one more time will kill me. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking, and the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of Old Sarkoris was thoroughly diminished, and many of them had hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on all our hopes, and on Mendev's ambitions. Though you're not supposed to say that out loud. What a city it was. You can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers from the Five Kings Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all Galarian. Heroes were drawn there to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Galrund, Tianzia, and I couldn't list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there. The banner that had been carried into battle by Eomedae herself, back when she was still human. That banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in its place, Dresden was invincible, or so we thought. But when the world wound suddenly expanded, the demons launched a new onslaught, and folks started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable, until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place was on the battlefield. She whispered honey words about glory and valor, and convinced him that he could be a great hero, as great as Iomedae herself, and the poor fool believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the city gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden. It was a bloodbath. As you can guess, that officer was called Snot in Vain, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Minago, that foul wretch. She's given us a lot of grief here in Canopus, too. Just don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trysts with that beast, and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day looking at his plight, so that's the story. Why do you have your forge here? Wherever I am, that's where my forge is. The true masters of Minecraft will always find tools they need. I miss my old forge, of course, but it's now just a pile of charred stone and metal, but I've still got my hands, and that means I can work. Show them radiance. Do I recognize it? Of course I do. I made this with my own hands. There's my brand. Oh, yeah, Neil. Things might have been tough. Things have been tough without you, but at least we've still got your sword. That's something. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted, they break, and sometimes a weapon can preserve. I don't even know how to explain it. I have no authority on these things, but something like an echo of the deeds done with that weapon, or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul. I don't know. I will say one thing. Take care of that sword. Yaniel may no longer be with us, but the demons will still remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see radiance. The scabbard's all worn. We can't have a fine sword like this being carried around in this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again. We'll have it ready. No charge. Show me your wares. Smasher. Attrition dagger. Detainer. Butcher of Undead. Well, you have some fun weapons. And then a bunch of regular stuff here as well. Devastating blow from above. When the wielder of this +1 longsword lands a hit while mounted, it deals an additional 1d4 piercing damage. Interesting. So it basically changes it from 1d8 to 1d4, or 1d, well, sort of, to 1d12. But more like 2 to 12, because you get an additional 1d4, which means you guarantee that extra 1, sort of. Anyways. Okay, well, I'm not buying any weapons right now. Oh, I will sell you this dagger and this shield that I don't need. Hang on to that. Oh, and then I want to look at you. You are an eldritch scoundrel, so a type of rogue, but with some magic. Perception, stealth, and trickery. Okay. You have 2 masterwork daggers. Alright, well, let's give you... This is a finesse, right? Yeah, we'll give you this. Boom. Look at that. That's pretty cool. You have some scrolls. Give you a potion. Use that, but these 2 you might use. Oops. else around here? Oh. Some loot here. Sure, we'll take all that stuff to sell. There was something over here to get right there. Cool. They got a whole thing built up here, don't they? Oops, I lost my place. There we go. Finally going out to do something for an hour of talking. Add you to the party. Okay, where are we going? These things hideouts right there. I gotta take Woljif there. There's the wine cellar. Oh, so I gotta go through the market square. I also have the Tower of Estrad. Alright, well, let's hit the Stephen hideout, because it's close. When do I fail a stealth check?
I'll tear your throat out!
Is it just this? Sure. Stuck up behind me?
No match for me!
Nice. Immediately got the trip on him. Thank you, Blue. Oh yeah, I think I want you to move to here. So formation. I don't want to be in the front though. So let's put both of them. Toggle things down at the end. I mean, Sela needs to be in the front. Yeah, that puts Sela in the front. I wish I could move, but I can't move that though. Which forces him into his last spot. Let's just swap me and Camellia. I'll put that into that. Then Woljif can come up and flank and get sneak attack damage. And I'm on the same side as my pet. Yeah, that works. This is also an option. We'll stick with this pyramid for now. See how it goes. That. We have a masterwork Bardiche. Thank you. Yes. Save. Oh, okay. Sister carries me. Brother Woljif, you've got my message then. Sorry, I couldn't swing by sooner, dear Sister Charisme. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next, well, no, I was still in shackles, and I was being watched. Then the chief got me out, and I came here straight away. I knew you'd been waiting for me. Enough talking, or else we'll be here all night. So we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guards, there was time to get away. But what happened? Erebeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us, and I have a good idea who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Do you think Woljif knows the name of the traitor? He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so he'd have something to hide behind if things went south. Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woljif has been a part of has very quickly come to an end. Their hideout location was past the guards, or their competitors found out where they could ambush them. Woljif is the only one who comes out smelling like roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us. Woljif, your turn. What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Charisma got 6 of us together in this very basement, me and those 5 over there, I mean. She rounds us up and says we've got a score. Ancient trees and wonders, the one place nobody's ever been able to hit, the place that's guarded by a golem. But now a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with a tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. The most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casting out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret. That's all true. We did everything right. The lock's in the golem. I picked the lock. I remember it clear as day. Sister Donna was on lookout. Brother Melrune had the scroll. Doffy, Tavi, and Varner brought in the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack. One right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it. And next thing I know, Erebeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off, about 20,000 worth, and to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything. Where's the Moon of the Abyss, Woljif? What is that? It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of the ancient trees and wonders. Sterling silver, sparkled like a star, fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, a crescent, a waning moon. In the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, "I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection." I used to go there and see what kinds of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canabras. People used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knows you were always hanging around the ancient trees and wonders, drooling over the Moon of the Abyss. Did you think that you could swipe it all in the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd all be locked up and you'd get off scot-free with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Why would Erebeth arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't make any sense. If I was a rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in the cellar can have a nice Woljif-sized dinner? The Moon of the Abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You knew Erebeth's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say. The only problem is nobody returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Erebeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iomedae all rolled into one. He speaks the truth. You'll find some knights who will take brides, I'm sorry to say, but Erebeth Tierbait isn't one of them. Go on, Woljif. That's the whole sorry story. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end, and a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the Moon of the Abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, but it ain't that pretty. If it's important to you, Sister Charisme, I'll find it, and I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just so you don't end up in the bottom of the cellar. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology. Right here, in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everybody hears it. Sorry, Woljif. You're a good guy, and I was wrong about you. Fine. You're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. you'll have no peace. But one day, you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that is when we'll get you. Got that? You've a way with words, declares me, a way that almost made me wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to that scary gal, Irabeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. Okay, let's go find the real traitor. But first, I'm gonna take out your stuff. I'll take your wine, corn liquor and your wine. What is this lockpick kit? That sounds like something you need. +1 bonus on all trickery skill checks. Okay. And you're a +12. You're actually a +14. So she actually is better. Okay, she's skill focus. Yeah. Alright, well she's actually a little bit better at it than he is. So let's give... Where'd he go? Give this to you. This to you. Does this go anywhere? 60%. Hold on, save it. Oh. Okay, so don't do that. Got it. Okay, so maybe later, after they've all left. I mean, we could just try and take it and try and kill them all. Maybe we'll do that later. Leave this here. That is going to be it for me for the time being. Have a good day.